What's up, everybody? It's the Inhuman One here, and today I wanted to cover off on some things on the newly launched Lunara update for the consoles, PS4 and Xbox. I have Warframe on the Xbox console, so I just want to talk on just a few things that are being released, some slight changes, and some upcoming changes that we can expect along the way. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so basically with the Lunara launch, obviously they include the new Conclave edition. It's a new kind of match type, 3v3, sport-based. It's kind of like a mix of lacrosse and, I don't know, maybe soccer or whatnot. You can actually access that by going over to the Conclave segment, and then moving over to the Lunara section. You can practice if you press the X button or the activate button or play now, just depending on whatever console you're on. Obviously, it's going to be different, but the choices are the same. You can either play now, which would get you in a group of 3v3 match, or you can practice. The practice is pretty neat. We can kind of just jump right into it just to kind of see. I shouldn't say I did a video, but I made a real quick one where I just showed the footage of the tutorial, kind of the introduction of Tension, kind of talking about it or whatnot. The ancient sport of the lost Orokin era, and all that fancy stuff. But long story short of it, once he lets me play, I'll just show you kind of the maneuverability and some little things that I noticed. It's actually pretty fun. It is a little annoying sometimes because you get knocked down quite a bit, and the ball gets knocked out of your hands almost every second. But it's not too bad. I think that maybe if they added maybe a few invincibility frames when you first get the Lunara, that would be nice. But yeah, so basically that's the Lunara right there. It'll change colors based on if it's been charged or who's holding it. And then you have these different little, tutorials that you can select. I'm not going to do that. If you want to watch the tutorials, just go to the video. It's literally me just clicking on each one and not saying anything. That way you can kind of see it for yourself. But anywho, so when you pick it up, you have about 5 seconds. Oh, shit. You can't do that. I forgot. You can't leap in that way. So you can actually just run or sprint or whatnot, and you have about 5 seconds or so to get rid of it and launch it to the opponent's, goal. So once you make a goal, you have to clear the zone so that you can get your I forgot to call it, Arcat or Arcata or whatever the hell. I have all these fancy words for your lacrosse stick back. But that's it. So you clear the zone. Now, based on how hard you hold it, the trigger, it will determine its trajectory. If you slide while doing it, so I'll show you here. So if you're sliding from the right and you hold the trigger, that did absolutely nothing at all. If you slide and hold the trigger, it'll curve it. Whoa. So again, you have 5 seconds to hold it. If you hold it for too long, this will happen. You can supercharge it by rolling into it or using your melee. If you get hit by it, well, once it's charged, if you get hit by it, you'll be knocked down. So you can, obviously your melee attacks have been modified for this game mode. You can slide and do it with it's like a kind of, some sort of, front flip kick thing, which is pretty cool. Or you can spam it and you do a combo. You can jump and do it. And it's just kind of just for versatility and all that. But long story short of it, that's how you charge the ball, and you can actually hit it and knock down opponents with that. So again, you don't have much time. Once you have possession of the Lunara, you got to kind of release it as much quickly as possible. But it's not bad. It's not a bad game mode. You can't jump. You don't have ultimate mobility whenever you actually have the Lunara. Like for example, you can't do that special jump where you truly get a lot of distance, but you can roll with it if I recall correctly. So, well, I say slide. I guess that's a better way to say it. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a lot of fun. It's a new addition. It's not it's not straight up PvP where it's like typical deathmatch style or whatever. So it's not bad. Not bad at all. But that's Lunara for you in a nutshell. Check out the tutorial. It's definitely going to be helpful. We'll teach you a few things. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that's so incredibly important. It's pretty intuitive, pretty straightforward, but that's really all I got on that. So let's go ahead and exit this. Let's see if I made it. Not even close. Let's abort this mission and fail. Lose everything we could have earned. I'm just kidding. It's just a practice mode. Let's screw around with our Lisette. Alright, perfect. So now I'm back to Rhino. Let's take a look here. Okay, so another few things that they have changed, which I absolutely love, are that the okay, actually I'll go here to show you. I'm going to go to the arsenal, and I'm going to show you that, the Warframes that I have. I've only been playing for about maybe 2 weeks or so, so I don't have too many. I'm kind of just getting the grasp of it right now, but I'm absolutely in love with this game, so expect to see much more Warframe shit in the near future. So let's take a look at, say for example, Mag. Mag is the most recent Warframe that I built, and so when you select Mag, you're going to see a few things if you're trying to upgrade her and equip your mods. Now, if you notice, it says unranked Mag. That would normally show her level. Now, with this new Lunara update, your initial mod capacity is based off of your mastery level. So if you look, I have 3 capacity. That's because I'm a fucking boss, and I have mastery level 3. So basically, your initial mod capacity is no longer based on the level of your Warframe, but it's actually based on the mastery level that you have. So right out of the box, Mag already has 3 mod capacity, which is pretty nice. Now I'd like to see, and I'm just figuring this out on the go, this is by no means like script, I'm just trying to figure shit out. I want Rhino though, because I'm trying to get everyone to rank 30. So I want to see what happens with the same works for weapons. The same applies for weapons. So let's see if I have a weapon that I've created that I have not yet utilized. I don't have a primary that I haven't created yet. So let's see if I have a secondary. Either one of these, the Seer. This is a beast of a weapon. But let's just see if I equip it and I try and upgrade. Let's see what the mod capacity would be. So the same applies for the weapons. Even your mastery level actually dictates the number of capacity slots you have, or your mod capacity for your initial unranked item. So that's pretty awesome. That means that from the get-go, you're not going to have to be an absolute weakling, and you can have some chance to actually modify your weapons depending on your mastery rank. And as you go later in the game, it's much more beneficial because your mastery rank will technically be higher, so you have the opportunity to have more mods equipped at any given time for new Warframes and new weapons that you're obtaining. So that's pretty exciting. Another thing that I've yet to experience is the Kubrow, but they're bringing out the Kavat, or it's like a cat basically, cat-based Kubrow pretty much, and they will be actually available to walk around with you in your landing craft, which is pretty neat. Also, the time frame in which they can, they grow and mature, it can be dictated by a button. No longer is any strange, waiting times or whatever. So that's pretty neat. Another thing is the market's going to be changing up a little bit. You can actually hide what you already owned and see things that you don't own. The Arcana, like I said, those are the equipment and the I guess this is how you would capture the the Lunara and whatnot, and you actually have guards and all that, kind of like I guess you would have in soccer. So it's kind of neat. They got some new Noggles, which are basically bobbleheads you can use to decorate your landing craft and your Lisette. So it's pretty neat there. So they're just changing a few things there. Not too exciting, but I guess the best update for me as of now, because I haven't really delved into the rest, and also I should mention that there are a number of Warframe augments that are being introduced, like for different frames, like Ivara and all that, which is really exciting because I can't wait to get my hands on her. But they are making some, I'd say, pretty significant changes that are going to result in a lot of replayability and make it a little better for players that have had maybe the game for a while. I have not, but I would imagine that after a while, starting fresh from zero every single time, it could be a bit annoying. This game is obviously grind-based, which is fantastic, but sometimes the grind can be monotonous, and you want to try and spice it up. So I think Digital Extremes is doing really good in trying to accommodate that. But anywho, one of the other changes that are coming out in the next update, that's actually a release for the it's already been released, for the PC. That's going to change the whole your solar map or your star chart, whatever you want to call it. So that is going to change the format entirely. So it will no longer be this circular, God complex kind of thing where the worlds, revolve around you. It's going to have more linear progression. I know that the Void is going to be changing quite a bit to where there'll just be I think they call them fissures, void fissures, and void fissures will allow you to access eras in the void. Obviously, a fissure is kind of like a tear or a rip. In this particular game, void fissures would be kind of rips in space and time where you can access different eras in all throughout the Origin system, which is the name of the system that we play in. There'll be fissures at any given time, and so your void keys will no longer be accessible or needed. They'll actually be transformed into these kind of, I guess you could say, points that you can, not points, but these items that you can use to actually enter the void. And depending on the ones that, the tier that you currently have, Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3, Tower 4, based on the tier, you'll be able to actually access that era. And there's 4 eras, corresponding with the 4 towers. So that's pretty exciting. I really do love this visually and aesthetically. This is damn pretty. I mean, I love it. It's just really neat. But this is what I saw. This is what I know first. So yeah, I fear change. Yada yada yada. I do believe though that with this new, I guess, star chart, solar map, I've heard it being called 1,000 different things, but I guess the navigation, as I like to call it, I guess it's really technically called the solar map, solar chart, whatever the hell. That's going to be changed to be more progressive, so you can actually see, what is the beginning level, what are the end levels, how to unlock certain levels and get to certain areas, etc. This has a circle. Clearly has no indication of what's more and more important or what's more difficult, what's end game, what's the beginning. You just have to kind of know. And it does okay. I mean, it's not bad. I like it quite a bit, but again, I just like the way it looks. And I have a bit of a god complex, so there you go. Let's see. Alerts are going to be changed. Voids aren't going to be part of the alerts, and void keys won't be rewards for those. So obviously there's going to be some minor changes there. But long story short of it, the changes are going to be quite exciting, and I'll definitely be covering them as they come into play. But for the Lunara update, I mean, we got quite a bit of fixes, quite a bit of changes in the Conclave. There's things that you can do to change your operator, which I've yet to see and I don't want to know about, so don't ruin it for me. But long story short, I think the Lunara update is a great precursor to the updates to come for the consoles. And so I'd like to see maybe feedback on maybe PC users that already have the update, how they're liking it, etc. But for now, the Lunara update will definitely hold us over and keep us busy until the next update. But the content release to date has been very exciting and very, I'd say very rewarding and just great. I mean, I'm addicted to this game, so you can definitely expect more content on Warframe to come, including lore videos, beginner's guide that I'm putting together once the next update comes out. And that's really it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And it's the Inhuman One, signing out.